Next, we've got an 18-year-old who prefers to stand out in a crowd. Tony Mosen is visually impaired and has a guide dog, but that's not the first thing that most people notice about Tony.
In fact, some people have even refused to believe he has a disability because he doesn't fit into their idea of a blind person. That doesn't bother Tony. He likes to do his own thing.
My name's Tony Mosen. I'm 18. I love music. Started off when I was little. I got forced into playing keyboard and piano, and I kept setting keyboard to drum mode and just kept making up beats and stuff, and so I got chucked out of keyboard and put into drums. I just started wearing black ever since I started high school. I got dared into getting a mohawk last year. I've always wanted one, but I just never really had a good excuse to get one, so I did, and everyone seemed to like it, so I just let it grow, and people seem to like it even more and more, so I'm going to keep it. When I walk around the streets, people can hear them yell out, "Look at that cool mohawk." They just think it's great that I've got guts to stand out. I just don't like sheep. I like to be different and stand out from everyone, and I like following in crowds.
No doubt about it, Tony Mosen stands out. The mohawk,
Gilbert.
the dress sense, the drums. And did we mention the guide dog?
Gilbert!
Right from the start, Tony was different from the other kids.
The condition is called Peter's anomaly. I've got it in both eyes and I was born like it. It's when there's a tissue, like a cloud that's growing over your cornea in the back of your eye, blocking all the light from coming in.
Tony has had 6 cornea grafts and they've all been rejected.
I can't do anything about it, so I might as well get over it and just forget what other people think.
One thing Tony could do, though, was to get a guide dog. And teaming up with Gilbert has given him the independence of any other 18-year-old.
Well, me and my mates were just talking and they said, "Why don't you get a guide dog?" And I just thought, nah. But then I rang up the guide dog people about it and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool. I can do what I want if I get one. I can go out and stuff." And so I rang up Tim and he came over and talked to me about them a bit more, and I thought about it and thought about what I'd actually need it for, and so last year I got accepted to get one. Then we've just been mates ever since. Gilbert is just crazy, really. He's just like a little kid. He's always hypo, full of energy, and his tail's always wagging no matter what. Even when he's working and when he sees me, it just won't stop wagging.
Now Tony and Gilbert are a regular sight around inner city Auckland, and it means that Tony can get out at night when the 5% vision he has is almost useless. Going to the gym is an important part of Tony's life. He's been lifting weights since he was 14 and is aiming at competition powerlifting.
For powerlifting, I've just qualified to compete in lightweight powerlifting, so I haven't done benching 85 kgs at the moment, which is pretty good considering I'm only 60 kgs. My goal is to put on quite a bit more weight and to be able to enter in medium weight powerlifting probably beginning of next year or the middle of next year.
Like any partnership, Tony and Gilbert's takes effort. Today, Gilbert and Tony are going to be put through their paces. Guide Dog Services instructor Tim Stafford arrives to check up on just how well the team is developing. Tony and Gilbert have been working together for just a year, and it's a crucial time in establishing the relationship that will last them for Gilbert's lifetime.
Hello, Gilbert. How exciting is this?
Crazy.
How's things?
Oh, not too bad.
Tim makes a point of regularly checking up on new teams and coaching any problem areas.
Should we sit here?
All right.
How are you then?
All right.
Yeah? Going all right?
Yeah.
How's the dog going for you?
Oh, he's been great.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's behaving himself now.
Good, good. All getting into a even keel?
Oh, I try to.
Yeah.
The crowded mall of Westfield St Luke's is a favourite haunt of Tony's, but it's also a big challenge to Gilbert because distractions lurk everywhere here, and they could easily put a young dog off his stride.
some people are real stupid and they'll just keep walking straight towards me and not see the dog, and they'll think that there's a gap between the dog and me, and so they'll try and walk in between us, or they'll just walk and stop, which is just real stupid.
There's a lot of crowds here, so there's a lot of obstacle avoidance for the dog to do. Some of the sort of incidental challenges here, I suppose, are that the dog, by their very nature, attract quite a lot of attention from people. And it's easy for people to make the mistake of trying to fuss the dog. But unfortunately, when people touch or call or stroke the dog, they distract the dog from doing its work, and that can cause Tony a problem.
To some people, Tony doesn't fit the image of a partially sighted person with a guide dog, and that's where his problems start.
About the first day I graduated with Gilbert, got refused out of Burger King. And I told them about Gilbert and that he's a guide dog and he's allowed anywhere, and they still didn't believe me. And I finally figured that it's probably just because the way I look and I'm not the typical stereotype of a blind person with a dog.
A guide dog is legally allowed access to all public areas, so anywhere that the public is entitled to go, so is a guide dog.
Today, Gilbert has passed all his challenges with flying colours. It was Tim who matched the pair, and he's pleased with the way it's working out. There's no place that Tony is more at home than behind his drum set. He's hoping to enrol in an audio engineering course next year. But for now, playing the drums in his room is as good as it gets.
Well, what the drums mean to me is they're just my babies sort of thing, just like sitting in a nice car. Once I get on them, I can never usually get off. I got Gilbert for another 10 years, so what do we do together? Hope it's something fun. I don't really look too far ahead, probably just like a year. Any further just scares me.